Greetings, traders, and welcome to our webinar today. Thank you so much for joining with us. I wanted to start it out with this little video here that I really like. It's very inspiring, and regardless of how the world is today, we live in this fast, high-paced, high-technological world, and whether we like the way some things are going and whatever, it's a beautiful world, and we are futures traders, and we accept who we are, and we accept that this is what we do. There's no backing down. There's no crying about it. We are risk takers that come into the world, and we don't care which way it goes. We take our chances, and we place our bets on what we see as reality. So again, thank you so much for joining with us today, and we're going to get started now. Let's start out by reviewing briefly the risk disclosure statement. That is something I like to show all the traders and help you realize that we only trade with risk capital. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle, and I like to add on there, or mind or mental sanity. It is not that serious. When you trade, you're not supposed to be losing your mental sanity and all that just over money. It's supposed to be a non-event. Money should be virtually invisible to you while you're trading. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. And I hope that's all of you here in the trading room today. Otherwise, you should leave, because if you don't have risk capital and you don't have the guts to come in and trade and live this kind of lifestyle, you shouldn't even be bothering looking at trading stuff. It's not for you. It is for risk takers. So keep that in mind, and the things I'm going to show you today, I want to make sure that you understand that past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Well, once again, thanks for joining with us today. It's great to see you, and I love doing these webinars. We're going to be starting these up again here in the new year, doing them just about every 2 weeks. I like to get together with the traders, our many thousands of traders that own Boomerang Day Trader, and I'm going to show you why they own Boomerang Day Trader today, because it is really a historical system that has never been done before in the industry, where we've got a system that produces steady 90% winning trades. I like to say up to 90%. That covers it from 0 to 90. The truth is we track it every day in our day traders action live room, and they're actually 90%. There's actually more than 90% winning trades, but we like to say up to, because that covers all the things in between if people can't fully understand how to trade, or they're experiencing some emotional drama that blocks them from seamlessly putting on the trade setups, which are very easy to do. However, for right now, before I get started, I got a question for you. What if you could say each day before you started trading, what if you could say to yourself, with full confidence, sitting straight up in your chair and going, I know exactly what to do to make money today and to make winning trades. I know exactly where to trade. I know exactly when to trade. And I know exactly where to get out on a trade, either for a stop out or a profit. A very tight stop or a profit. I know exactly where to get out. What if you could say all this stuff today? Well, we do this every day in the Day Traders Action Live room and on my Boomerang Day Trader software, which I do display in the Day Traders Action Live room. In addition to that, for 18 years of being in this industry, I have traded over 50 I have trained, not traded. I've trained over 50,000 traders. That's a lot, I know, but I think it's more. 18 years, lots and lots of people have come and checked out our services, but I've trained over 50,000 traders how to trade the markets, and I can help you to speed up your learning curve. The most valuable commodity in this industry is not some latest webinar or some system or trying to pick up bits and pieces of information here and there. The most valuable thing is to meet someone who can speed up your learning curve. Otherwise, by hit and miss and getting a bad case of webinaritis and a worse case of indicatoritis, where you just got all this stuff and it all is fun and exciting and all that, but fun and excitement is not cash in the pocket. Fun and excitement does not pay your mortgage or your rent or your bills. So forget about fun and excitement. It's the most valuable commodity is finding someone who can speed up your learning curve so you don't have to spend 10 years, and that's only if you're really determined and you've got the cash to hold out. 10 years playing hit and miss, just kind of winging trades or guessing at trades. I don't think you have that much time. You may feel you do. I did. And so I worked really hard and figured out how to do all this stuff. But if I can speed up your learning curve from 10 years to 1 year or less and show you how you can make money with us Monday in the markets. We're closed on Friday. We only trade 4 days a week. In fact, here's our slogan right here. What if you could go to work in the morning for 2 to 3 hours, have the rest of the day off, a 3-day weekend every week, and make up to $300,000 a day? This is for small traders, small account. That's what we specialize in. If you want to double or triple that, all you got to do is click on your platform and add a few more contracts. That's not a problem. But I'm just showing you something very doable. Now, just as a credibility factor, here's a picture of me giving a seminar, a live seminar. This is back before there were webinars, and we had to go out and you'd have to pack up and get all your stuff ready, your suits and everything. Get in, check into the hotel. You'd have to rent the hall for the hotel. There was all kinds of stuff to do. We had over 320 traders fly in just to see me. It was my seminars exclusively from all over the world. And that seminar included over a dozen professional floor traders from Chicago, back in the day when the floor traders were the gods of the trading and the gods of the pits. Brokers and futures traders of all levels. And again, they flew in from all around the globe to learn my very successful trading methods. This was back in 2004. Now, I want you to understand the reason I post this is not to brag or anything. I want to show you that there isn't anybody else in the industry except for maybe Larry Williams, I'll give him that, that can post a picture like this. They can doctor up a picture and make a phony picture, but this is a real picture of me talking to and training 320 traders in one setting over a 3-day period. Now, these people paid $1,000 to come and see me, plus they had to pay $220 for the Marriott Hotel in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida for 3 days. Plus they had to fly out and they had to take time off from work. So if you stack all that up, you're talking $3,000-4,000. Plus you got to eat and all that stuff. Now, we did feed everybody. I had a very elaborate, nice buffet every day for the traders to eat, but nonetheless, you get what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to show you that for credibility. That's the first step in helping you understand that what I'm saying right here is true. We're doing this every day in the Day Traders Action Live room, which is my live trading room. In addition to that, in the room I display the Boomerang chart for crude oil, which I have right behind this here. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. And I'm going to show you how we make 90% winning trades every day in the markets. Now, I've been tracking this for a year and a half. So it goes back a year and a half of every day, winning days every day, and 90% plus winning trades. In addition to that, we give you exact precision trades that I will call out live on the mini NASDAQ, the hottest game in town. The U.S. stock indexes, the mini NASDAQ, really full of all those cult stocks, all these leaders. They all got bald heads and big giant glasses, and they look like they belong to a cult. And they got $1 billion in the bank, right? So interesting business we're in. Interesting world. But like I said, it's a beautiful world, and I don't care what happens. I don't care how many bad things are going on. There's a lot of beauty out there. But in the midst of that, the warrior trader steps up. The Zen warrior trader steps up and says, this is who I am. This is what I do. No wimps allowed. No crybabies allowed. This is who I am. I'm a risk taker. I go in. We're going to hit the market. We're going to make some money. And as I get better and better at that, I can increase my size and make a bigger paycheck if that's what I want, all the way up to the point where I feel that's where I want to be. Now, do you think this would be something that you'd like to be able to do each day as a trader? First of all, let's get something out of the way. I am not here to sell you day trading stuff. Everybody else, you go to their webinar and oh boy, and they'll talk some fancy stuff and then later, okay, here it comes. I'm going to get it out of the way right away. I'm not here to sell you any day trading stuff. Based on everything I just told you, I'm really here to find out if you got what it takes to be a trader with us in our room and owning Boomerang and having sufficient capital, being well off enough to do it. All our stuff is very low cost. But this is not for broke people or people with their last $3,000. They're going to throw it into the market, come hell or high water, maybe I'll double. That's all crazy crap, and we don't believe in that here at Day Traders Action. We're real traders, and we believe in the risk disclosure statement, and we believe in telling it to you and slowly explaining it to you every day. Big difference from a lot of the people who just post it and quickly take it off the screen. We're here to tell you that this is a very high risk business, but if you got the guts and you've got what it takes, that's what I'm here to find out. I'm trying to sell you on yourself if that's what you want, but I can't sell you on yourself. If that's not you, then it's not you. It's just like, and I've never been a policeman or anything, but I've known policemen. I had a good friend who was a neighbor. In fact, he was here at this seminar with me. He was a tough guy from L.A. cop, and he said, I said, can you come to my seminar? I got 320 people there, and I need you to just kind of keep an eye on things with me, because when I would take a break from the seminar and go walk around, there'd be 40, 50 people around me. So, I just he came along. So I know cops. And he said that LA beat, that's a tough beat. And I said, really? He goes, you know what though? You know what's tough? And I go, what's that? And he goes, Detroit. That's the most dangerous city at that time. Maybe still, I don't know. I'm sure it's a beautiful city too. But he said at that time, he said, that's the most dangerous city in America to be a cop. He said, I'd never work there. So here's this tough guy from LA. And he said, man, you know, some cops, they love being policemen. They like the work they do, and we respect them so much, no matter what, whether they work in a small Mayberry type town or Detroit. He said, but I'd never work Detroit, man. That is for the completely kick-ass guys there that go in there, and the ladies too that go in there. Tough, tough people. So similarly, I hope you're hearing me now because this is your first lesson in learning how to listen carefully. If you don't listen to me, who are you going to listen to? I've already showed you enough stuff. I've showed you all the goodies that you really want to hope and pray that really is real out there. Well, we are the real thing. But the point is, the first lesson is learning to listen. Not everybody who buys 100 shares of Amazon stock and all that, that's not a trader. That's a guy, that's an investor. And maybe he sells it in 2 weeks, it went up a few dollars. Woo, he's a trader, I guess you could call him that, or he thinks he is. No, we are the Detroit cops of the financial industry. That's who we are in the Day Traders Action Room. We are the financial cops who work the Detroit beat. We're going in there every day. We're not here to hold a position or catch the big move and all that stuff. We are here to go in there and scalp out a paycheck every day. And we're going to try to do that within 2 hours. Today I did it in 35 minutes. We hit our target gain, which is 8 to 12 NASDAQ points, which will produce a $500 to a $1,200 paycheck on 4 contracts. I'm asking you to come in, follow what I do, learn from it, paper trade it, track it, write down the trades. People sometimes ask me for a track record. I go, come into the room. You can join for $39. Whoopee, 39 bucks. Join for 39 bucks for a couple weeks. Watch it and then stay longer. I don't want you to just join for 2 weeks. We're only 149 bucks a month. Stay with us and make money every day. We normally make, get this, 3 to 5 times the regular monthly cost of the room, which is $149. We usually make 3 to 5 times that every single day. So if you got the guts to trade and you're not afraid to trade, I run into a lot of traders that talk and they join my room and da da da. But the truth is they're absolutely terrified of trading. They've either lost a bunch of money or they think it's too scary for them. They just, no matter how good it is, they can't handle it. And that's okay. I respect that. But my question is, what the hell are you doing lurking around trading rooms and going into webinars? What psychologically, what is it that you need to start trading? Use your simulator to start, or just write, horizontal lines in the chart. Then you have to have an open futures account. Yes, you have to put up some money. You have to have money. If you don't have money, what the hell are you doing in the futures industry? This is for rich people who got extra capital that want to learn how to trade and make a living. So the things I'm showing you are not promises or guarantees. I promise I will work very hard every day to achieve those goals. Those goals affect me and they affect all our subscribers who I care about very much. And they know that. And that's why I give them our stuff at very low cost, because I'm trying to help them be successful. What's in it for me? I don't know. This is all I've done for 18 years. So I guess I'll continue to do it, and everybody likes it, and they'll tell others, and that's good. But I'm just telling you to be honest with yourself. Don't play games, because when you get in the markets, if you got that game playing attitude of pretending that you want to be a futures trader when you really, really, really are absolutely terrified to trade, you're going to get in the market and you're going to make mistakes, and those mistakes are going to cost you a lot of money. And I'd prefer that didn't happen to you. I'd prefer that you were successful by doing other things. Anyway, this is what our room looks like, except normally over here I have a NASDAQ chart that's marked up with different lines and things like that. I do 4 different types of setups. Boomerang Day Trader, which is right here on crude oil, is one setup only, and that is we pile everything we got with our indicators, which I'll show you in a second, where the 90% winning trades comes from. We pile everything up on one side of the bias. When the boomerang indicators tell us to get in there, we have an exact crystal clear specific entry point. We get in at that point. We have an exact crystal clear exit point, which is 8 to 10 ticks. That's all I'm looking for. I could care less about the big move after I get my 8 ticks where it goes. I really don't care. All I want to know is, when is it going to flip to the other side and set up another trade so I can go in and grab another $100, because that's $100 per contract, 10 ticks on crude oil at $10 a tick. 10 ticks, $100 minus commission, which is about $5 or less. $100 in your pocket, and we have a lot of people that have emailed me and told me they're trading 10 contracts in our room. So they're moving at $1,000 per trade, unless we have a small stop. We have a tight stop of about 3 to 5, 6 ticks. And I'll show you that if we run into it today here a little bit. Now, trading at that level, and I'm not suggesting you trade at that level or that you have the internal guts to do that, or the capital. You got to have a bigger account, obviously, duh. But at $1,000 a trade, we make an average of 5 to 10 trades a day. Bona fide, genuine, classic boomerang trader trades. Some days more, some days a little bit less, but generally the average is 5 to 10 trades a day. And you can imagine the kind of money that person's making that's doing 10 contracts. But all I want you to do is just see, after watching this webinar today, if you got what it takes to come in there and just start out with your simulator, and then start out trading with one contract, and then work your way up as you watch what we do. So let me get started. Now up here, while I'm trading NASDAQ, which again the chart's over on this side, but I've just got the crude oil chart up because that's the only contract I recommend right now for Boomerang Day Trader. And the reason for that is the stock markets are way too rigged, they're way too erratic, and it's just really nuts. And I'm just saying we have to use a wider stop. Now 12 points, we are using a 12-point stop. I always get them tighter, but I got to have at least that much room because so many times these riggers come in and jerk the market around, and they'll jerk it up 12 points sometimes in one or two candles before you even can see it happening. And you got to have a stop in. So just forget about NAS for now. I'm just telling you what I do as we trade. Our average stop is substantially less, 3, 4 points maybe, and we're scalping and doing very well. But when we get to that 8 to 12 points, we stop trading for the day. And today, like I said, that was half an hour. We had 9 points on 2 winning trades the first half hour. We had 8 crude oil trades. 7 of them were winners. One was a 5-tick stop. We had 3 winning trades yesterday on NASDAQ for 11.5 points, which gave us, and it's always based on 4 contracts. That's what I call a blue-collar working trader. I'm encouraging you to get up to that level. You're not going to make money on a one lot ever. You'll make a little bit here and there. You got to step up, find a winning system, a winner in trading that can give you the trades. If that's what you need, I'll do that. Or you can follow our Boomerang system. It's right there in the room, live in the charts. You can follow it yourself right off my charts. But yesterday was $864 on 4 contracts on 11.5 points with 6 winning trades. Previous day we lost 3.25 at the end. It was still that stupid whipsaw volatile crap that the riggers were pushing. I'm going to show you something in a minute. We had 7 winning crude oil trades for $668 after commission on the signals there. And then we had a whopping 8 points within, again, half an hour, 2 winning trades, 8 points, $604 paycheck on 4 contracts. Crude oil had 5 winning trades and 1 stopped out for 2 ticks, netting, if you had traded those signals, $453. And the day before, I'm just giving you this month. Day before that, 16.25 NASDAQ points on 5 winning trades. 5 winning trades in a row, 16.25 points, $1,208 on 4 contracts. Crude oil, 8 trade signals, all winners, $800 minus commish, $786. That's what we do every day. That's this month, all winning days. Our largest streak of winning days was unheard of in the industry. There's no one I've ever heard of, anyone, anywhere that has had, we had 83 winning days in a row. That includes crude oil and NASDAQ. Like I was just reading you that, multiply that by 30. It was about, because that was about 5 days, right? 5, 10, no, that was 6 days. So multiply that by, I don't know, 15, whatever 83 winning days is. Recently, this was in 2017. Recently, we had 3.5 months of all winning days on crude oil and NASDAQ, 58 winning days. But that doesn't matter. It's not a question of setting a record. The idea is that's 58 paychecks like the ones I just described to you. That's called the winning lifestyle. That's fist in the air. Yeah, baby. This is the lifestyle I want to live. If you don't want to live that lifestyle, why are you in the futures markets? To catch a 30-point move on a one lot and then brag to your friends and all the rest of the days give it all back and more? What does that do for you? This is about, at least our people, we're very, very, very serious about going in and making a paycheck every day. That's all we care about. Now, one thing I'm going to recommend to you, even if you think, oh, I'm going to still go to 10 more webinars and keep searching and keep looking because I don't want to make money every day. I hate money. I just want to play this weird ego game of pretending that I'm a big futures trader in a very high-risk business. I don't know why you would do that, but for you, here's what you can do if you want. Here's my YouTube channel. while you're going out there and looking at all these trading rooms and all that, most of which I don't mind saying are fraudulent, many of them, because they post fake track records. Just ask them a simple question. Do you have a YouTube channel where you post videos from your live room that you have? They say, no, we don't have any of those. Why the hell not? It's so easy to simply get a YouTube channel. There's no cost. Get a recording system. They're very inexpensive. Record your room, some of the trades. You don't have to record the whole room. That's very boring to sit there all day. And YouTube won't let you have too long of trades. But I'm saying, or too long a video. Here's our YouTube channel right here. There I am. There's the sky and the clouds. And I like visuals like that. Just like I like that beautiful New York video there. They start out showing the stock exchange and it's just rock and roll through the whole, but it's cool music. It's upbeat, but it's cool. That's who we have to be in the midst of it, you know? Well, here's my YouTube channel. A lot of swing trades in here. 14 and a half points, 13 and a half points, 12 and a quarter. I do swing trades, but only when they set up in a very specific way. Haven't been a lot of them lately. We catch the big move, but mostly we scalp. But if it sets up right, and that's a combination of using Elliott wave theory and Fibonacci, I catch the big moves. 22 points, 13 and a half points, 1275 points. 1475 swing trade, hyper volatility, 2275 points, 30 and a half points. I catch the big moves, but we don't go after that. We go in and scalp them out here. 7.5 points, 1350. Look at some of these things. All recorded. You can watch me sitting there in some cases for quite some time waiting for the thing to pan out. And on a swing trade, they'll go your way, stall, and they'll come all the way back, sometimes past your entry. They have to sit there and grind through that, and then finally they slowly grind to where you want them to go. I don't like swing trades that much, but I do them when the market tells me this is the solution to this market right now. To scalp for 3 or 4 points is wrong because this thing is topping out. It's ready to reverse the downside, and it's good for 28 points, for example. If I see that, I'm going to go for it. 5.25. Whatever. These are all recorded on here. You can see me in the room. It's the same boring thing every day, trading, making money. I know that might seem boring, but we're not trading for excitement. We're trading to make cash. Cash in the pocket. That's what we want. We can't guarantee it. I can promise I can work very hard, but I can't promise we'll make money every day, but we do just about every day. That's the secret. You got to find somebody who has that kind of guts and courage to be able to do that, and most importantly, be able to prove it. Trust me, I've been in a lot of these rooms. I've looked at their stuff. I can look at their website in 5 seconds and blow it right out the window because most of them are just jacking you around. They don't give me a break, you know. They're not telling you the truth. 11.5 points. Can they show videos like that? Oh, by the way, it keeps going. These are all the videos. There's more and more. I think we hit the end. There's maybe about 50 of them or so on there, maybe a little more. Look, all I'm trying to tell you is you just ask them that. Forget track records. Oh yeah, here's our track record. A lot of those jerk-offs will send you a track record. It's completely fake. You send a fancy spreadsheet. What does that prove? That proves nothing. You're asking for trouble. If that's what makes you excited, you deserve to lose money. Sorry, you do. Ask them if they got a YouTube channel recording some of their winners. That doesn't mean all of them are going to be winners. They may just record the winners. I got winners and losers on here, but my point is get some proof that these guys really trade. I've been in rooms before. You go there and they talk and talk and talk and talk, and I go, this guy's not going to trade. And the whole day will come, and well, the market's getting ready to close here. The jerk didn't even trade. I go, what a waste of time. Just all BS. Anyway, hey, don't mind my tough love. It's either that or you're going to go out and get burned, and then I'll get you coming around back to my service. You'll start harassing me for this and for that and for this and that. Well, I've been hurt before. And I go, yeah, but so what? That's because you're clueless. You got hurt because you're clueless. If you knew what you're doing, you wouldn't have got hurt. Anyway, don't mind the tough love. That's what I do. So here's Boomerang. Here's 6 o'clock. Here's a crude oil market opening. I don't know. This was last Friday or something, I think. Uh, Here's the way Boomerang works. You get a sell channel. It's very easy to see. It's alarmed and marked on the chart. And you've got obviously red candles. Makes it very visually attractive. The sell channel, you can see this shaded area. That's the sell channel. And we only have two components. You have this is called the price pressure band. It looks kind of like a Bollinger Band, but it's not. It's something I invented called the price pressure band. Oh, it's so valuable. If you buy this today and put it on your charts, you will experience a type of clarity that you've never seen before just from this little $195 indicator I invented. But here's how it works. Sell channel, you wait for the candle to close to lock the arrow down on there. And then you ask in the next candle, are the price pressure bands open? Now, open means pointing, because it's a sell channel, pointing to the downside. Open means the dashed line crossing the solid line, right? Pretty simple. Yes, it is. Well, then, the next question is, and final confirmation question is, these are called the dynamic trend bands. You see, you have that dashed dotted line there, and you have this solid line. That's number 1 and number 2. All you're asking for are the dynamic trend bands in one of three conditions, either crossed over on a buy channel or crossed under on a sell channel. Or are they within 2 ticks of crossing over, like right here? See this here? This will be our next trade I'll show you. See, if I put my cursor, that's why I have to use a cursor here in the room. I put my cursor right on that dynamic trend band number 2 there. See, it says 95 on the far right. We don't care about the dollar price, just 95. And I pull it down to number 1, it says 93. That's what 2 ticks looks like. So as long as this dynamic trend band number 1 is the bluish bullish color, in this case, here's a buy channel, you can trade a pullback to the first blue dot, the signal line right there at 99, and 99 shoots up to 21 here, well over 10 ticks. Right in here is where you get 10 ticks. It happened within time and sales here, 21, 22, happened within about 3 minutes. Because once you pile all that market force on there, that's how you got a winning trade going. Now I'm just going to do this webinar for about another half an hour, and then we're going to go into question and answers. So it'll move fast. Please pay attention. It'll really help you. So here on this trade, what you had, you didn't have the crossover, the 2 ticks crossover. You had the matching color. So that qualifies the trade to go short right here at the signal line, 98, and 98 drops them right down to 88, 10 ticks. First winning trade of this day. The second winning trade I just did, 10 ticks there. So now you got $200 per contract in your pocket minus $10 commission. And again, I don't care if they ran all the way up here. I could care less. Makes no difference to me. That's not what we're trading for. It's not our job. Who cares? Let them run up there. If you want to catch, okay, say you go, oh, but man, you left all that on the table, which is ridiculously wrong. No, I didn't, because that's not what we do. We're scouting for 10 ticks, but let me challenge you a little bit here. So 99, or let's say 57 even, ran all the way up here to 57.41. So you say, well, there's 40 ticks. Oh, you left 30 ticks on the table. Well, here's my challenge to you. Come and learn our system. And instead of putting on 1 contract, you put on 4 contracts on crude oil. Once you get yourself convinced that it's proven 90% winning trades with 3 to 6 tick loss, what do you got to worry about? Why do you even have any fear? Maybe you don't trust yourself. That's a different issue. I can help you with that too. But once you have the guts and you know how to follow the system and you're a disciplined person, you want 40 ticks from here to here. Most likely it's because you just want to trade one lot up there so you can feel really smart that you caught the whole move on one lot, though. You're not, big deal. Put four contracts on right here and in 3 minutes pull out 40 ticks. It's a lot smarter than going all up here. Your risk is huge to try to catch this. You don't know they're going to go up there. But do you see what I mean? Your logic is wrong. Catching the big move is not the answer. Having a 90% winning trade system, now that's the answer. Because you can, once you get convinced of that and you see that it's absolutely 100% true and proven, you can put four contracts in there and in 3 minutes catch 40 ticks. Much better deal. See? But you're still thinking. I know you. You're still, because I've dealt with a lot of traders like you who lose a lot of money and they go away wagging their tail. They go, well, the futures market's all rigged and nobody can win. See, the ego is such a bastard. Anything but admit it didn't know what it was doing. It was wrong. It didn't know how to trade. See, you don't have to be smart or dumb to trade. You have to know how to trade. I've seen the smartest guy in the world, many of them over the last 18 years with two, three companies, both all $3 million companies. I'm going to trade. They come in, take a course of mine, they start trading. They just blowing money out the door. They can't. They refuse to sit down and learn how to trade. They can't see how complicated it is. Well, I've been successful with everything else I've done. Doesn't mean jack. If you don't know how to trade, you're going to lose. So we suggest you come in, forget being smart. See, because you were resisting that when I said, why do that? Just put four contracts on here. 40 ticks is 40 ticks, baby. If you're going from here to here and saying, I caught 40 ticks, it's all the same. Here you can do it in 3 minutes. You can put 10 contracts on. Boy, then you'll really be rocking and rolling. 40 ticks, man. You'll have 4 grand in your pocket. Wouldn't that be a kick? So, anyway, that's our second winning trade of the day. Let's see what happens. So they go up and up and up. Well, lo and behold, the dynamic trend bands cross under. They're still matching color up here. It's not ready to blow yet, but it will. They cross under. I say that very confidently because I do this every day, over and over. And I invented Boomerang, so I know it really, really works. There's never, listen to me carefully. Please, listen to me carefully right now. There has never, ever, ever in the history of the stock market been a futures trading system that makes 90% winning trades day after day, week after week after week. There's never been one. So it's historic. You're making history with us right now. If you come in the room and trade Boomerang or buy Boomerang and trade it round the clock on crude oil, it's up to you. You'll be making history with us. Here's a sell channel, right? You have to wait till the candle closes. It's a 450 tick chart. That's what we do. I have my reasons, many reasons. Don't think you're going to fudge and change it in one of these goofy little Renko bar things. Just follow what I say and make the money. Later, you can experiment if you want. Boomerang's designed for experiment, but you don't need to improve on it. You need to improve on yourself. The work is on yourself, not on my Boomerang system. Let's see you trade it and make steady winning trades. See, it's that darn ego bastard always coming in there. Oh, I'm going to put on Renkos, and do you do Renkos? And no, 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 no. You're not paying attention. If I did Renkos, this would be Renko chart. I don't think they're that good. Anyway, here's your short right here. Why? We sell channel. Are the price pressure bands open? Yes. Matching dynamic trend bands that have crossed under. You just take that first pullback to signal line. Yeah, they pushed against you a little bit by 44, ran up to 48. Woo, 4 ticks. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh, my whole career is going down the tubes. No, you got to hold. This is trading. Take some guts, you know. So you're short now at 45. Boom, down they go. Down to 26. All you needed is 35. And 35 showed up right here. So I can give you an idea. That's 7:12:03, and this is 7:03. 3 minutes, so 9 minutes. So it took 9 minutes for us to get 10 ticks. You can wait that long, right? And again, Oh, the big move. Oh my God. Oh, Mohan, you left so many points in the table. No, I didn't. I could care less. It's a big move. So what? Put more contracts on. So let's measure that again from 45. What is it? 57.45, and down here it's 56.35. So, okay, whatever. So you just put on, like I said, you can put on more contracts, or it doesn't even matter. Who cares about the big move? See, I'm trying to really help you get that out of your head. We have a technique we use in the room. It's very simple. You put a sign on your desk and it says, "So what? Dot dot dot. Who cares? Dot dot dot. No big deal." That should be your attitude about futures trading. It should be your attitude about money when you're trading, and it should be your attitude about getting stopped out, and it should be your attitude about grabbing a nice, comfortable 10 ticks in 9 minutes and seeing it fall apart here. So what? Who cares? No big deal, because the market's going to always be there, and we should be allowed to trade them unless they start kicking all of us minor traders out and they just take the whole thing over. Could happen. I don't think so, but be ready for anything. So here's a buy signal. See, here's why we don't care. So we all this did was give us a chance to get a break, and go downstairs and get some orange juice or something. Don't drink coffee while you trade. Please listen to me carefully. Don't drink coffee, and try not to eat before you trade. Keep yourself hungry and don't get yourself wired. You're going to get wired enough following Boomerang. When the cash starts flowing in, you're going to feel really wired. Trust me. Come in the room, sign up for the room right now. Day Traders Action right here, and you'll see what I mean. You're not going to want coffee or food. You're going to want to be hungry. We're only going to be trading for 2 hours, and it is rock and roll. Just go down, scroll down, and you can click there to subscribe, and it'll open up a PayPal account. PayPal handles all the finances. I don't have time. I'm not an accountant. I'm a futures trader. You want me working on the futures trader right there. 39 bucks to start if you've never been in the room before. If you have, it's $149 to rejoin. That's okay. We don't mind. It's still cheap. We're going to make 3 to 5 times that a day on most days. If you want to watch a video, here's me making 3 winning trades in a row, scalps. It's up to you. One thing I like to say too, from what I've seen, I haven't seen all the trading rooms. There's something like 500 of them out there. It's a ridiculous amount. I don't know. I don't think any of them are even profitable. Maybe a few, but from what I've heard, we are the most profitable futures trading room in the industry, yet the lowest cost futures. Makes no sense. Guys see me and what I do, and they go, "Wow, why does he charge $300? That's what we charge. We charge 500 a month." 149. I'm trying to keep it low so you can learn, have some faith, realize that not everybody out there is trying to take your money, trying to help you make some money. So how many winning trades is that so far? One, two, three, and then this, like I said, you could take a break, go get some orange juice or some water, or go down, pet the dog, go outside, take a big fresh breath of air. Of course, you don't want to do that more than 5 minutes, because we don't know that this is going to just keep selling off like this. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, so now what happens? The dynamic trend bands cross over. That's fine. Doesn't mean there's any trade or anything. It just means they're crossing over. The pressure's starting to bottom out and turn up. Wow, all of a sudden, dynamic trend band number 1 turns the bullish bluish green color. You get a buy channel. What's the first question you ask? Little quiz for you. That's right. Has the price pressure bands open? Yes, they have. Dynamic trend bands are matching color. Trade the first pullback to the signal line at 45, and 45 leaps up to 58 in how quick? 7:43 even. The top of this candle, 7:43, 37. 37 seconds, 10 ticks. Now, again, if you want to make 40 ticks, put on 4 contracts and have 40 ticks in 30 seconds rather than grinding through all this, not knowing if it's going to keep going up, and then getting stopped out and losing. You see what I'm saying? Just a suggestion. Fifth winning trade in a row, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, one, two, three. Maybe it was the fourth. I lost count. Here's the fifth right here. Sell channel opens up and closes with locking the arrow down there. The price pressure bands, are they open or closed? They're open. Are they pointing upward, sideways, or down? They're pointing down. Are the dynamic trend bands within 2 ticks of crossing over? Have they crossed under for a sell channel, over for a buy channel? Or are they matching color? Right here, if I put my cursor there, you see that? 58, and right there, 60, 2 ticks. Sell right here at this first signal line dot, yellow dot there. 53 comes right down to 40. Same thing as the last trade. Look at that. 53, the candle 806 and 9 seconds. The bottom of this candle, 806, 57 seconds. This was under a minute, 10 ticks. All this, I could care less. Why didn't you just hold? Well, the truth is I did a seminar which is posted on our blog last time, a few weeks ago. If you want to catch a runner, use a dynamic or the price pressure bands. Use those and a trailer of this Cobra, this dotted line is called the Cobra, which we use for modification trades. All you got to do if you want to hold, just hang on. Use the Cobra as a stop, trailing stop, and hold it as long as the price pressure bands are open, and they closed right there. Look at that. The PPBs, the price pressure band, caught almost the whole move. One indicator told you exactly where to stay in for the whole move practically. Beautiful. All right, so now here, that's the sixth winning trade in a row, I think. And now you've got a buy channel. The price pressure band's open, but one little problem. Let's see here. The dynamic trend bands are not 2 ticks of crossing over yet. Let's see where they are on this candle right here. 13, and if I pull it down, 10. They're still 3 ticks apart. This trade is not qualified. It's not a trade, not a winning trade. Nothing here because you got the dynamic trend bands crossed over, but nothing's matching or everything's flat as a pancake. But what happens right here? Sell channel. The price pressure bands open right here and start pointing downwards. The dynamic trend bands, as of right on this candle or this candle, are matching color. Crossed under. You go short right here. 22 drops them right down to 11 for 10 ticks. And again, I'm just giving you the time so you know. 842, 847. So this one was 5 minutes. That's normal. What you're doing, again, these are called momentum blasts, is what I like to call them. You're stacking up all the pressure using my precision indicators, namely the price pressure bands and the boomerang indicators. And you got all this visual red ink here to tell you on the right side. I mean, it's very easy to read that. It's sell channel. That was either the 7th or 8th winning trade in a row. I'm not sure which. Market gets all choppy after working a lot. Nothing's matching up here. Nothing's good to go. After a big move like that, you do not want to take the first buy. You want to wait for the crossover, then take the next buy. And that's right here. Buy channel, matching dynamic trend bands. The pullback to the signal line is right there at 79, and 79 jumps up to 90. So that's got to be like the 8th winning trade in a row. I can tell you right now, here is another winning trade right there. Nothing here, nothing matching, but right here, buy, matching dynamic trend bands. That's like got to be the 10th winning trade in a row. Then they go into a chop fest here. Just stand aside. All these whipsaw candles, boomerangs telling you just wait, stand aside, just forget the whole thing. It doesn't matter. And at this point, you're out of crude oil because after around 10 o'clock our time on this chart, West Coast chart, 10 right after this trade, 10, 10, 15, 10:30, just bow out of crude oil. All the action's been done already. You're good to go. But I think there was 11 winning trades on that day. So I've got about 5 minutes, and I wanted to show you something here. This is one of the only volume indicators in the industry, and I've seen very, very few. Most of them are junk here. This is a volume meter. This tells you individual volume on each can. If you're not following the volume, you're driving a car without gas gauge. Who would drive a car without a gas gauge? What kind of fool would do that? What if you go on a long road trip and your friend says, well, how much gas we got? You've been driving for 3 hours and you go, I don't know, man. What do you mean? What's the gas gauge say? Huh? What's that? You wouldn't want to be in a car with a guy like that. You'd you want to call the psycho ward or something, right? Well, why do I see all these rooms and they got their fancy indicator package up there or whatever, but they don't even have a volume meter. They don't even know what the volume is. Another sign of a fraud, because they're showing you, oh, it went here, but the volume is so important to know if that trade's going to be able to move, and you want to keep track of it. So this is a volume meter, but this is a volume indicator. Now I'm just going to show you real quick how this works so you can get a feel for it. It's really important. I invented this long ago and I've been using it for years, but I finally released it to the public. Now those of you who do own the Volmo, I've slightly reconfigured this one and you'll really like it. And it's a 2-tick switch I can show you. If you email me and you have Volmo and you've been to this webinar, I can show you how to change it. It takes 2 clicks. What you're doing is whenever this line crosses over the 0 line, you can buy for a scalp. See that? They went from this is on NASDAQ, 78.65 jumped up to 72. So it's like a 6-point thing. Here they are crossing under, NASDAQ right here. Boom, down they go. Here, kind of choppy, but it did this line crossed over the zero line. That's that center black line there. They spiked them up. See that? They crossed over here. This is a measure, not a price. This is merely a measure of volume coming in. So when you see this little line here crosses over the 0 line, that's putting pressure on the sell side. As long as these candles are all holding on that same side of the thing, that's sell volume coming in. That's going to push the market that way. Let's do another one. Come over here. Look at this. Here it is crossing over, and you get a green candle. You get some green in these histograms here. It starts pushing them up. From here it went 67 up to 74. So that was about a 7-point scalp. Held above the 0 line and look, took off like a rocket ship up here again too. So I'm just giving you an idea of how good this works. It's the only volume indicator I've ever seen in the market that really tells you what's going on in the market. You can follow the volume just by watching this line on the 0 line and tracking the volume here on these dual colored, and they all have a purpose and reason. I won't go into it here, but you can go on my website and learn more about it if that's of interest to you. And I'll get to your questions too in a minute, but it's good you're writing them in there, because then I'll just go back over them and read them out and talk to you about it. Let me just show you though where you can learn about the volume meter. $195, but I want to show you one other thing about it before we do that. Remember I was telling you about catching those runners in the crude oil? On this webinar, which I posted, it's under our resource section on boomerangtrader.com. This webinar goes into exact, specific, crystal clear detail how you can use the price pressure bands and another indicator I only have a few, called the Primo, or the price momentum. Volmo is volume momentum, volume momentum. The truth is, the whole market's running on 2 things. I know they got all these complicated algorithms and all that, and I agree with technical analysis to get a stronger picture. But all you've got is momentum on the volume and momentum on the price. And that's what's moving everything. Anyway, here's that short video on the 4-step confirmation process I did. And you can watch this video again too if you liked it. I hope you did. Here's a price pressure band. There's a whole little mini webinar on just those and how to use those to pick off tops, which I'll show you in a second. Price momentum indicator and volume momentum indicator. Now it looks a little different here. That's because I've slightly modified it in this picture, but that's where you can go to learn more about it, just so you know. I've made it a little simpler to read and look at, but it's 2 clicks of you're just changing one indicator to a bar instead of a line. Anyway, you can see here, look at this. Gets above the signal line and up it goes. Now look, as they're rising up here, it's getting close to that peak exhaustion line up there. Now notice how the volume immediately starts showing a little red ink on the histogram. This turned the pinkish magenta color or bearish color, getting some red ink on there, and they still try to pop up, but look at that volume just totally slipping. Now it's below the zero line, the volume slips, a lot of red ink coming in here. Even though it's popping back up, it's not measuring price, it's just showing you. Let them pop up, that's a better entry for you, because right now it's showing you that the sellers are coming in, the volume's coming in, and kablamo, down they go as it runs all the way down here and hits the peak levels. Here's the first peak surge, and they come back and then they hit them again. They make 3 moves under the exhaustion level. That's going to tell you somewhere in there you're going to get out because it's peaking. So just keep that in mind. It's a beautiful indicator, one of the only volume indicators I've ever seen worth its salt for anything. So I hope you find that very valuable for your trading. So again, Boomerang, if you want to, I don't recommend you purchase it right away. You can if you want, but you can come and watch it trade live in the room. Just join our room for $39 for the first 2 weeks, $149 a month. If you've never been in the room, if you've been in before and want to come back in, just email me and I'll send you a link for the $149. But don't sign up on the $39 link because it's too much administration for me. Um, just be honest and send me a request and I'll send you the link. This isn't about getting by on the cheap. I hate that. I get that all the time. These people who call themselves traders and they're trying to get by on the cheap. What the hell is the matter with you? This is for wealthy people. $149 for an indicator that does what the volume momentum does. $1,195 for Boomerang. $1,200. It's a money machine. You're not buying a lawnmower at Kmart, for Christ's sakes. You're buying a money machine that I just proved to you on this day on crude oil. How many trades we have? Like 10 or 11, I forget. $1,100 minus commission. You just bought it in one day. You paid for the whole thing one day. Now you own it for life. Picture months and months and years after that. And you got to snap out of that Kmart mentality. This is not for Kmart shoppers. Attention Kmart shoppers. Go do something else. Futures trading is not for you. Rolls-Royce shoppers, Mercedes-Benz shoppers, step right this way. Those who got the money to spare. I feel obligated to say this because of the nature of the industry. I'm not required to say all that. I like to post the risk disclosure. They want you to post it. I love to post, but I like to discuss it. I want traders to know that I don't really want to waste a lot of time with people that should not be in the industry. This is a tough business. Some days you're going to get stopped out. You might get stopped out 2 or 3 times in a row. But I have a record in the room. When that does happen on rare occasion, I'm able to get all that money back and go on and make our 8 to 12 points anyway. Just have to work a little longer and just, trade a little more. That's all. So keep that in mind. It's very important. But we're coming close to the end of the webinar now. So I really thank you. If you have some questions, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Just type them on in the Q&A platform and I'll go over those with you. And we'll have some fun and I'll answer the questions. I'll keep the volume meter over on another screen here if you need it or any other questions you might have. Okay. Jerry, you can email me your question. He's just asking about NinjaTrader 7.8. I say use NinjaTrader 7. You don't need NinjaTrader 8 for Boomerang. NinjaTrader 7, our tech support has told me, long time experienced tech support, NinjaTrader expert says he feels NT7 is a lot more stable. We have NT8 available, but no need to switch. NT7 will be around for many, many, many years. It's their classic version. eSignal and others, I'm a partner with eSignal as well. They all have classic versions that I use. That's what this is actually. This is a classic eSignal quote board up here that I like because on their new one they don't have this. See how if I scroll here, it tells me what it is. The NYSE declining issues, NYSE advancing issues, E-mini S&P. See how it puts the title on there? For some reason, their latest version doesn't have that. And this is so important for me to have because in the room I'm often going over some of these trades that we have and these longer term picks. And we have a heat map down here that's really vital here because as an example, see I'm up here looking at the high five and I show you how to read that on my website, by the way. If you just go to daytradersaction.com and open it up, and then in this section, how to read the market like a book, it'll show you how to read these high five indicators, what I call the industrial average, dollar composite index, transportation index, TRIN, and the advanced decline line. But then down here we have a heat map which breaks down the major ETFs for each segment. You see what I mean? You got the communication services, industrial select sector, financial sector, and this way I can immediately get an eyeball view of how much red ink or green ink I have in there. Today they were selling off. And before I go to your next question, I want to make a quick point and show you some more additional proof. I'm trying to help you build confidence in our services so I can get your $39. I'm really after your 39 bucks, man. Boy, I'm just going to go to town when I get that, right? I'm kidding. I'm being facetious. My point is, I'm just here helping traders for very, very ridiculously low cost. Look at this. This is something I've recently added. Now, when you become a member of our room, this is what you'll get. Welcome aboard. There I am. There's where I live. It's a beautiful beach area, beautiful lakes, everything. Lovely area. But look at this. Now I explain right here. Welcome to the room. Get ready for fast action. We start at 10 o'clock every day Eastern Standard Time. Trade 4 days a week. Talk about putting trading brackets on for the 12-point stop and the NQ and all that. Whatever. But look at this. Right before your eyes. I update it every day for the week and then I erase it and start a new week. These were my bias readings. Every night I do 2 to 3 hours of homework and I condense it into 1 or 2 sentences as to where I expect the market to go. Now it's not a straight market's going to sell off today, market's going to go up. You can't do that nowadays because everything's so rigged up and discombobulated. But you can know the direction. You can see, watch. Monday, price have moved just above the resistance zone, which is right here, 2807 to 14. This is based on ES. On Globex, watching to see if this holds or folds. This market was insanely rigged up. First they crashed the market, blew everybody's brains out back in late November into December. We called the top of that period. I told all our subscribers, get out of 3/4 your stocks, hedge the rest. I told everybody that. I did the same thing in my private hedge fund that I manage with a partner. Get out of stocks. Look what happened. They just killed everybody. Then when they got flooded with emails saying, you damn feds, what the hell are you doing? You guys don't know what you're doing. Oh my God, you destroyed my account again, which they did. That's their job. And then they even smugly admitted that they caused recessions. I mean, these people are unbelievable. But the point is that now they've gassed the thing all the way up and rigged it all the way back up, getting 100% of all that market back that they crashed. Totally fake. So I'm pointing that out here. This is this week, Monday. Here's the resistance zone. Tuesday, so far, second failure resistance zone on Monday afternoon. Tuesday's my commentary. What happened Monday? Let's see if we can get some more honest downside pressure. They weren't letting the market sell off. They had the robots mounted on the market, and they were controlling it with robots like a tight fist. It'd go down four ticks on the Nasdaq. They goose it up 5 ticks. They go down 3 ticks. They goose it up 4 ticks. They'd get all this, kick all the sellers out. They'd frustrate. They'd go flat, and then they'd launch a 12-point ramp up on the upside. Totally criminal. Anyway, so I put on here, let's see if we can get some honest downside pressure and walk away some more from all this phony upside rigging by the Fed. Would be refreshing to see an honest market for a change. Well, we can deal with however it is. We can go long as much as we want or short as much as we want. There was no problem. I'm just commenting on what I'm seeing. Wednesday commentary on Tuesday. Range bound market now as they refused to let the market sell off in a normal pattern. Let's see if the downside can get a stronger push today. Question mark. I was having to say that because it's like, who knows? These damn feds are rigging this thing up so strong. It's really kind of creepy. And then Thursday, today, I made the comment, which was put out 6 hours before the room opened. I go, market may be ready now to slowly grind lower after now breaking down as large, and this is some intel I got today, large fund groups and hedge funds started increasing their hedges. I get reports, inside reports. They started upping their hedges. And I said, good. I knew I was on the right side of this thing. And so then here's the Dow close today, but they blasted it down over 300 points. This market needs to give back at least 500 to 1,000 Dow points just to neutralize from that phony ramp up that they just had. But I put these in here every day. This will keep you abreast on the market and what we're expecting to happen. So thanks for checking that out. I want to make sure and see that you had that. This was the thing on how to read the market like a book. It's a pretty elaborate report. It'll stretch your mind out a little bit. But we show you how to make a volume meter down here, which I have, and all these things. You know, it's pretty exciting. But feel free to read that report if you want on the daytradersaction.com site. I love my boot. Oh, this is unsolicited. I can't show you his name. Let me see if I can put this on screen without revealing his name here. I want you to see this. I love my Boomerang Day Trader, learning the system, trade the system. I'm up to trading 4 contracts in the crude oil. Great job. And I'm working up to 10 contracts. Be patient, wait for the setups, don't force them, work on yourself. Wow, thank you so much. That is awesome to hear, Mike. Or Anthony, I'm sorry. Fantastic. Kick butt. Great job. There's some advice from someone who bought Boomerang. He's working his way up. He's doing some nice size there. You see, there's a guy catching 40 ticks, but he's doing it in, like we showed you here, 8, 10, or 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 9, anywhere from 30 seconds to 10 minutes. Beautiful. Thank you. Primo looks like a heck of a confirmation for trades. So yes, Primo. I didn't even mention this when I was showing you these crude oil trades. In addition to that, for real rock solid confirmation, you've got the method, which is so simple. All you're looking at is the price pressure bands crossing under and the dynamic trend bands in one of those 3 conditions. 2 ticks away from crossing over with the dynamic trend band number 1, the bearish color, crossing over or matching color. And also, I've got my Primo indicator down here. If you get this bias line, see how it's floating above the 0 line? Once you get that to cross under the 0 line, that's another confirmation, which occurred right on this candle here. So you can take this short or this one here, and it's beautiful, as Mike's pointing out. Thank you, Mike. It does work. That's one reason I'm running it in the room here, because I like to have the confirmation. Um, caught this little moves and all, but you want to make sure everything stacks up. Like here, you can see it coming down, and it's also a way you can catch a larger scale move with Primo too, following the price pressure bands. You get short here. Now the Primo's under the white zero line. It's actually at 0.50, but I call it the zero line. It's coming down. Now, what'll happen is see these shaded green areas? When you get a thrust, that's going to push it down under this green line and that'll shade the area. That way I show you that it's really, and this one really got jamming. So you can see here it's really pushing. All these are shaded. When that white, it's kind of a line that tracks the um, histograms. When that comes under the zero or the exhaustion line here, when that white dash line comes under there, you're getting pretty close to a bottom. Probably ought to jump out. When these shrink down to that low, I mean, there's a bottom, but once you see that coming under there, you can jump out. You could have potentially caught this whole thing just using price pressure bands and the Primo. And again, thank you for mentioning that, uh, Mike. Fantastic. Um, if you stop trading after 2 hours, do you cut off the charts then? No. Well, no. I usually leave the charts up. Sometimes I go downstairs and do other things I forget about. I come up and I left them on the whole time. But my normal procedure is we're done in a half an hour today. I talked for another hour, went over stuff, talked about some different things. There's always something to talk about in the markets, and I like because I'm actually making a huge effort even though I reduced the cost of my room and made it very cheap. I like to make an effort to speed up the learning curve of the traders. That's the main purpose I'm here. I can just stand here quietly all day and give you trade signals and get 10, 12 points, and we're done, total it up, close the room. There would be nothing wrong with that, but I like giving commentary as why it's moving, what's going on, stuff like that. And so I did a lot of demos today of I go right here's a spot where they're going to come down lower and then they actually crash down lower and stuff like that. Just trying to help the traders. So we don't turn the charts off. We leave the this is split between like I said, a crude oil chart and a NASDAQ chart. There's the NASDAQ chart there. So crude oil's pushed over here and the NASDAQ's up there. So we leave it up and you can watch Boomerang trade. And I don't even really comment on the crude oil Boomerang while I'm trading NAS. I'm up to my ears. I mean, we're hanging on every tick. I'm going in there and I'm trying to scalp 3 to 4 to 5 ticks or 3 to 4 to 5 points, sometimes a little bit more. It just depends on the flow of things, and I'm just looking for that market to start moving our way and then jump out is what I do. I do it all the time. Today we had two trades, one for 5 points, one for four, which is about usually what I'm looking for. When I get a trade on and that flies into the trade and gives us our I love getting out. I love ringing that cash register. Day before we had three winning trades plus 4 points, plus 3 points, plus 450. Before that we had that was a trickier day. We ended up with 8 points in the first two trades, and I mark it and I say, okay, 90% you should stop trading. I'll do some more volunteer trades, but it was a difficult day after that. But everybody was out. Two trades, plus 6 and plus 2, and then Friday the first we had that 16 and a quarter day, which they're what I call volunteer trades that I do, and you sort of take them at your own risk. I'm going to track them and work them just like a regular trade, but I'm basically saying we on that day, Friday, we had 0.75. Trade number two was plus 550. Trade number three is 3 points. That's 9 and a quarter. That's a $684 paycheck. Sometimes I'll do a little exercise where I get you to visualize stacking up 6 stacks of $100 in 20s and go, do you really want to give that back? It's just another day. Let's hang on to that. So I talk you into trying to keep that. I think it's a good idea. But we did two other volunteer trades after, one for 450, one for 250. So the grand total ended up, if you took all five of the trades, five winners, was 16 and a quarter, or $1,208 after commission. I always subtract out the commission because it'll show up on your statement, and you don't want to think you made $1,280 and your report comes up on your commission. It shows 1223.75, and you go, what the, so you always got to have a little clue about the commission there. I think it's important. Larry's asking how many points you get today. 9 points. I think I just mentioned that. I think you posted this before, maybe not. Um, one for two trades, one for five, one for four, and that was all done in the first 35 minutes. So I marked it with a red dot on there. I said, oh, that's good. And it was very volatile today, but I just, you know, I don't care. That's the paycheck. That's the paycheck we seek. That's one we want. Everybody gets it in the room. $684? Are you kidding? I'm going out. I'm taking off. They love it. It's living the life that we all dream about. But the problem is the illusion of the markets, as I call it, is we start dreaming about catching the big move, and it throws our ego into whack because we think, oh, all these smart people are catching that big move. No, they're not. They're getting hammered. Most of these big moves are shorts getting out of, or longs getting out of the market, and successfully the market's going down as um, the buy traders have to sell to get out of their longs, and they get hammered. Some of it's selling momentum too. I mean, it's both. It's all that. Probably this here, at least that much is selling momentum because they'll reverse and go, oh my God, and then they jump on there, then they get stopped out up here. But that's just how trading works. But I'm saying, I'm just trying to convince you that just come in my room for a few months and try just making a paycheck almost every day for 3 months and see what that feels like compared to going in every day, coming at your desk, and you know you're going to sit there until 1 or 4:15. That's a long day of stress and just sitting there. And I'm saying this is a lot easier path, and it's all based on the fact that I can make these kind of winning trades all the time. I mean, those don't just, they're not a piece of cake. I'm deploying four different methods for trading NASDAQ, not not Boomerang. I'm using some of, I would say half of them are Boomerang trades, but I'm also using what I call crunches and exhaustion reversals. Some of those are riskier trades, but I've got some recent things I've done to try to reduce the risk. Do our best, but that's how I get those 3, 4 winners in a row, and that's how you get them going. You just that's the traders have confidence in what we do, and then that helps them to be able to come in and do that. And then the idea it's only a couple hours is very nice. Just take all that pressure off. It's enough pressure when they're in there just trying to carve out that paycheck, and then from there it's just a party from there. Got the day free. Come back. We're not going to trade tomorrow. We trade Monday through Thursday unless there's a day where we stand aside, like a Federal Reserve meeting where they're going to announce interest rates, which is coming up not next week but the following week. So we'll stand aside 2 weeks Wednesday, and we'll trade that Friday. Fridays are the highest risk day for trading. You should know that. They're not all the same. Every day is a little bit different, but Fridays are the highest risk day, but we'll still trade them. And thanks, Larry. Good to see you. Volmo is not, no, none of these indicators are standalone trading systems. They can be incorporated that way, including Volmo, but Boomerang's a standalone trading system because it has all these proven, underlined 10 times, proven components working in harmony and sync, including the trade channels, the red candles, all these things to let you know that's the right side of the market to be on. Primo works great in verifying trades. You can also see It can pull down to the exhaustion level, and that'll mark it there. That's a great trade right there, right down to that tip of that exhaustion level. And then you hung on a little longer because you saw primo or the price pressure bands are still open. That kind of stuff that can be turned into a trading system. I'm giving you tools. Here's where the smarts come in. If you're like me, and not that I'm so smart, I'm not actually, but I'm a hard worker. That's where I shine. My wife used to complain, "You're always up there at your trading desk." I go, "I know, I know. I love you, honey. I'm sorry, but I gotta figure this thing out because I want to stay home and be able to just come downstairs and visit with you, and that always makes her happy. Then the wives are happy too. Oh, good. Then you come see me more. Yeah, that really was the purpose and is the purpose. Gets more free time. So that's the secret. And if you have other questions regarding, uh, you know, anything about the indicators or technical issues, or anything, you can just email me. I'll put my email up here. This webinar, I'm just trying to keep it just to what we're talking about here in the room because we're just getting ready to wrap it up now. And I really thank you for your questions and the time you spent from your day today to come in and listen to our webinar. I hope it's been valuable for you. We've got a lot of great stuff here. And if you just really, it all seems a little bit too much, but you still like trading, then just join me and duplicate my trades. We're only going to be in there for a couple hours, and I think you'll really have a lot of fun with it. You won't feel too exhausted because we're just trading for a couple hours. It's not a big deal. It's not like you're beating your head against the wall every day try to get some money. Some days are a little tougher, let me be honest with you. Hold on a second here. Mohan at daytradersaction.com. Just send that guy an email about any other questions you might have about what we talked about today, or if you have any technical things you need, or you need a license update or any of that, just email me. But for all of that stuff, you can also just go direct and email tech support at Day Traders Action, and they can help you with license updates and stuff like that. If you get a new computer, because computers, you got to, let me put that on your too. Tech support at daytradersaction.com. Gonna need a little more room here. That's all right. Yeah, so if you have a question on anything to do with licenses, or if you got a new laptop and you have to update, Jerry, your question, you can just send that off to me and I'll tell you exactly what to do, but not here right now, but just go ahead and send it off. But there's our addresses for mine, and then our tech support. Long time friend of mine, total Ninja Trader expert. We've been working together for 10 years. He helped me design Boomerang. Brilliant guy. Many of you know him, and that's great. So want to thank you once again for joining with us today, and wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the action if you join us in the room, or feel free to email me anytime with any questions you may have.